Hi, everyone. Welcome. So excited to have you guys here today. We'll get started in a minute or so. We'll make sure that, hey, Becca. Hi, Liz. So excited to have you guys here today. Hi, Lynn. How are you? I owe you an email. I've been so busy. Lori, hi. Oh my gosh. I feel like this is yearbook signing week. Where are you guys all from? Hi, Sarah. Nice to see you. Hi, Christine. How are you? Hi, Aaliyah. Oh my gosh. Yes, Becca. I'm so excited for Tennessee. It's going to be amazing. All right. I'll give people one more minute to join. Woo! Oh my God. Christine, is it hot as the devil's toenails in Phoenix right now? Way to go. Jersey in the house, Boston. We got some Northeasterners here. Way to go. Hey, Adrian. Hi, Naomi. Woo woo. We got the Southerners. Okay, we got some cool vibes going on in California. Woo woo. Awesome. I'm so excited. I'm going to start in just a minute. I'll share my content and then we can get going. What I have a question for you all. What are you most excited about regarding this presentation? Put it in the chat. What made you want to attend today? Don't all run it first. Oh, you guys are so sweet, Liz. I'm so bummed I'm not going to see you at CMA. Hey, Kate. How are you? Where are you from? Hey, Sarah. Okay. All right. Let's get going then. I love this. I'm going to add my content. Maybe, maybe not. Give me 1 second. In the meantime, how was everyone's Easter? Did everyone have a really good Easter? I hope so. I saw this really cool video on how to make espresso martinis and put them in a hollow Easter bunny. I don't know. Did you guys have you guys seen that? It was like literally the coolest thing I think I had ever seen in my lifetime. Um, Basically drinking um, espresso martinis from bunny ears. It was the coolest. Okay. All right. Let's go. I'm going to drag my slides. Hopefully this works. I'm back. Sorry about that, ladies. I don't know what happened, but let me go ahead and put my content in. My apologies. I don't know what exactly happened, but when I was trying to load my presentation in, all of a sudden I was no longer here. Okay. Why it's loading. I'm here. I have to reload my presentation, everyone. I'm so sorry, Shayla. Hi, Shayla, Eleni. Welcome. Hi, Aaron. Sorry. As soon as this thing reloads, then I can get started. Thank you. Adrian, we need to get together soon. Seriously. Thank you all so much. Okay. All right. I think you guys can see it. Boom. Here we go. All right. So today we're going to talk about the hidden secrets of your network. And I'm going to share with you how things have worked for me and basically how I know so many of you that are already in this call. I'm Jen Waltz. I currently serve as the Chief Cybersecurity Officer for Imaginative. Imaginative is my own company that I created because a lot of people, when they're going to market with a partner, they don't do a lot of the financial analysis ahead of time on the partner to find out if they're really ready to partner with you. And we can get into that a little bit later, but I'm excited. And so let me go ahead and dive in. So, what we're going to talk about, we're going to do some introductions. I'll talk about the power of networking. I will share with you some of the things that have happened to me in my lifetime that have helped me build this robust, amazing network and all the life stages that I've gone through. We're going to have a little interactive session where we'll have you all do your own network mapping using the template that I have for myself. And then we'll talk about how to leverage some network strategies. And then also we'll have a conclusion and a call to action. Now, please definitely, you don't have to hold your questions. Definitely put them in the chat. Alexine and Jessica are going to facilitate those. So I'm excited to get started. All right, so we're going to play Two Truths and a Lie. One, I have met and I'm friends with Oprah Winfrey. I have met and spent the week with the actor Idris Elba, and that I managed events for the actor Bob Redford. So, which one do you guys think is a lie? Put your answers in the chat. My photos basically, my photos almost kind of give it away a little bit. I love that. So, oh, good. Well, I will tell you, I am not friends with Oprah, but I have a very good friend who is. And she got to shop in Oprah's closet. Oprah gave her, Oprah was feeling very magnanimous one day and let my friend Tanika actually go and shop in her closet with Gail. But yes, I actually worked for Sundance, and I'll tell you how that happened. And again, it's a network story. I worked for Sundance for a couple seasons. I actually moved to Salt Lake City and ran their largest events for Bob Redford. I got to spend time with Bob Redford and his daughter Amy, putting on the director's brunch for Sundance, running their awards ceremony, and all those things. And then I got to actually spend a week with Idris Elba. All I can tell you is that man smells like heaven. If you see him right now, it's January in Utah. He's got white pants on. He smelled like an angel. It was crazy. Anyway, so I I want to share with you all these things have happened because of the power of the network. And you have this network too. Oh, did you really? Oh my God, Eleni. Oh my gosh, that man is handsome. Stedman, her husband, is super handsome. And yes, ma'am, Idris, Becca was Mm. All I can say is so today we're going to talk about how networks create allies, and you really need to lean into those, how you forge friendships. And I know that you all do now, but there are some things that we sometimes overlook when we have met with people. Also, looking at women in technology, I personally belong to every single group that is out there for women in technology. And specifically, I really feel that we shouldn't be diametrically opposed. I really feel that we're sisters in this whole thing and we need to lock arms. And men do it on the golf course, but women, when it comes to wanting to do business, transacting, we all have quotas. We really need to lean into the power of our network to help close business. Then I'm going to give you some practical strategies on how to leverage your own personal network. And then we'll talk about some interactivity activities together. So, um, this is me as a baby. And one of the things I like to say is, maybe I was born with it. I'm not quite sure. Oh, the slide didn't load properly, but um, I'm very exactly, Christine. Um, I am the product or the child of two people who are very different from each other, who chose to love each other. And because of that, it opened up four different disparate networks to me. So my father is white and Native American, and my mother, she's passed on, but she's Black and Cuban. And so what those things, and that me being their child, it allowed me to see life through the eyes of each specific race, right? I've got family from each one of these four different things. And so it made me very confident. It gave me opportunity to look at how people reacted to each other. And then also, it gave me like a network on steroids of people who were willing to pour into me. And I know all of you women have the same. And sometimes we don't tap into that, but I'll talk with you how I tapped into it and how I feel like it made me the person that I am and has helped me with success. So telling you about like who I was as a baby, and of course this slide doesn't present right, but here we are. So I didn't know that when I was a Girl Scout and I went from being a Daisy to a Brownie to a junior Girl Scout to a Girl Scout to a cadet, it opened up the other opportunities in terms of network. I leveraged all four of my parents, their families, to actually drive cookie sales. And this is how I knew I wanted to be in sales. Um, I was able to give people, hey, Taya. Oh, that's so cool, Taya. That's so awesome. What an amazing story about Robert Redford. Very, very cool. Seems like a really laid back guy. And he was the nicest person. And he's still as handsome as ever. But back to, my story and building up my network. So being in cookie sales, it allowed me to create this amazing dynamic network of people, whether they were family or people that my parents worked with, so that I could give them at the time what I felt they wanted, which were cookies. It was great to see the joy that, was on everyone's face as soon as these cookies got delivered. And it actually made me super excited about how to give people what they need so that they could then be happy in their own lives. And I know this was small at a small level when I was a kid giving people cookies, but it actually inspired me to move forward in life looking at sales. So let's talk about some of the network connections that we all have, right? We have mentors, we have allies, we have friends and community members. And knowing that we are all quoted, right, in our jobs, how often do we go to these people to talk to them about what we're doing, how they could possibly help us with their own networks and ways they could advocate for us to make our numbers, right? How many of you really tap into all four of these types of network connections so that people know what you're doing, they're excited, they're supportive, and they're helping you achieve your goals, the company goals that you have? Put it in the chat. I would love to know if you're currently leveraging all of these quadrants. I find a lot of people don't. That's awesome, Lynn. Yes, absolutely. You have to make the ask, and they already know. Oh, really? Oh, okay. Now I'm curious because when we go to open Q&A, I'd like to know from Anna Teresa why you don't mix business and pleasure. That's interesting. Um, when and it so when I talk to my network connections, my friends, my allies, community members, even if I'm on a plane or in an elevator or getting coffee, I'm always curious to find out what other people are doing, especially when I'm traveling for work, because most people are traveling too. And so we never know how just a random encounter can help us with something that we choose to in life. And I'll get back to the Sundance and Idris Elba thing and how all that happened. So, to me, a great networking foundation is basically having a supportive network. To me, as an adult, people know what our passions are. We're either, as a mom, passionate about our children, wives, or spouses. We're passionate about our partners. We're passionate about the work we do in our community. And then we're also passionate about, the things that give us joy every day, right? And then we talk about experience. So for me, I've had 25 years in the technology industry. I started when I was 19. I'm super excited for what the future holds. And I'm most excited about learning from the younger people who are coming into technology because they'll be able to teach me something. And then I'll share with them some best practices that have helped me in my 25 years, generate 2 billion in sales revenue for the companies that I work for. And core values, right? Accountability and good leadership. We hear this all the time. But I think the people that know me on this call, I show up for them. It's not performative. It's who I am. I really feel kindred spirit, or just part of who I am as a human is to give back to others and really help people, because I never know when they might have to help me. And then, going to my childhood, my parents, my dad, so my father was an Air Force veteran, and my mom, she was a stay-at-home mom, and then she became a secretary, and she worked for Kodak and American Can Company. And what they taught me was how to take criticism constructively. And as sellers, we need to really um, have a thicker skin, right? Um, Understand rejection. It happens. It's not personal. Maybe that's just not your time to sell to someone that is in your network. But at least, even if they don't buy from you, or you can't have a formative conversation, it doesn't mean that they won't open up their network to you, right? And refer you on. And so these are the four things that have helped me, and continually they still help me, sell to people in the community. So let me share with you a little bit about my journey so that you can understand. So I started off letting you guys know that I was in the Girl Scouts. It meant so much to me to be part of a community of really nurturing young girls. It's one of the reasons why I love to help women as much as I do. Um, I went to an all girls high school. Again, I clearly didn't have enough sisters in life. And so um, my DNA is rooted in helping other women. And it's not just helping women, but I do have a personal affinity for it. And so I want to walk you through this journey. Oh, yeah, that's awesome, Becca. I mean, it was the easiest way to earn 25 bucks a week throwing papers. And so here I am. I actually did had a paper route from the time I was 11 to the time I was 14. And one of the things that it taught me was it taught me about world events. And I got to know the people that were on my route. I got to talk to them about different things before they, opened up the paper because, you were rolling them and you got to read. And I'd say, oh, you really want to take a look at this, especially this section. And that helped me build a community of folks. And those people that I delivered to on my newspaper route, they also bought cookies from me. So I was helping. So my network for my paper route also helped me with me being a Girl Scout and also driving cookie sales. And then, one day my dad took me to the Chicago Auto Show, and there was a gentleman who was clearly very frustrated about not having enough staff. Andy Frayne used to be this usher group in Chicago. They would be at every event. And this gentleman, didn't have enough people. He was very frustrated. And I said, well, hey, if you give me a job, I'll show up. And I went to see him in a couple of weeks down at the Andy Frayne offices in Chicago. I don't know if they're still there, but I was hired, and that opened up my network. I was then going and being an usher at the Lyric Opera, at the auditorium, you name it, where there was a performance. I would meet people and talk to them. And it was really, really mind, opening in terms of how people were just so willing to try to get to know you and help you. And some of these people to this day, the people that I met, being an Andy Frainer and the people that I delivered newspapers to, I'm still in contact with. And so all these little things shape us as humans. I went to DePaul University. At the time, it was called Computer Integration Telephony, and now it's Information Systems. And that's another network. And at a job fair, I got my first job, and that was at this company called Yipes. They did high speed internet, and basically, they were the grandfather for what we know as data centers because we were building high speed internet into major metropolitan areas, right? So all the data centers that exist today are using the foundation that Yipes had, created back in the day. Based on that, there was a gentleman that I sold at Yipes. I was an operations manager, and I was talking to this gentleman. And long story short, I was able to explain concepts to him in a very, I would say, layman way about what we could do. This gentleman bought from Yipes, and then eventually he left and went to Microsoft and started working there. And he reached out to their recruiting team and said, hey, this young woman, if she's interested, we should bring her aboard at Microsoft. I interviewed, I got hired at Microsoft in a month, and I worked for a woman named Martha Galley. Martha, I was on her team. I just did an event with Martha last week where I spoke to her. She's running an ERG group for a company called Calix. And so it's been 20 years. And so, again, ladies, I'm telling you the story about how these relationships are so important in terms of what you put into them. I went to work for Unisys. So many people helped me in my journey. They actually helped me start my foundation, the Brooks Firm, where I basically helped a lot of non-felonious members of society get back to work, teaching them STEM, coding, and development. Then I went back to school, got an advanced degree. I did my time at Sundance. And in between the time between when I was at Unisys and Sundance, there was a gentleman that I had met along the way, and he introduced me to the people at Sundance. And I was just a volunteer. And he said, yeah, you should go and volunteer, Jen. And I did. And lo and behold, Sundance hired me another season, and that's how I got to run their biggest events. After that, then I went to go work for Equinix, Crone, and then my current role right now at Imaginative. And so I hope this makes sense to you that I'm this journey, I could not have been as successful if it had not have been for the people that I had met along the way that were lifting me up and talking to me. Absolutely, Lynn. Volunteering is huge. Um, Thank you. So, what I would say to you is in your network, leverage specific strategies, right? Consistent communication, making sure that you check in with people. I was on a flight, for an example, I was on a flight, a red eye flight to Boston. There is a company by the name of SciFlare that I was doing business with. They're an MSSP. I happened to be sitting next to the CEO of AppDirect on the flight. Normally, late night flights, I don't talk to people, but he struck up a conversation with me because he was laughing at how full my suitcase was, my overhead, and I was struggling to get it in the overhead bin, and I couldn't get it in, and they had to gate check it. Anyway, he starts talking to me, and guess what? Um, yes, exactly, Christine. This is, I'm going to go back to at the end. I want you all to kind of write down exactly what you've done in your lives because that is the power of your network. So anyway, back to the story. So I meet the CEO of AppDirect, and based on a conversation with him, he's like, hey, I want you to talk to this person because I'm going to bring you into our partner program. That would not have happened if he hadn't struck up a conversation with me. Normally, like I said, I don't at night, but he did. So I'm engaging, and then he introduced me to so many other people. He introduced me to Talaris and so many other people, even though they're competitors. And so I check in with him all the time. I let him know, what I'm doing, and I let all the people that I'm networking with, people that I've met, to let them know what I'm doing. It's just an update. Hey, I don't know if I've shared with you, but I want to let you know what I'm doing right now. If at some point in time I can get 15 minutes with you so I can tell you more, and maybe there's someone in your network that can help me, that would be amazing. And invariably, someone always wants to help. Always. It might not be right then at that moment, but they do. And so, all these things here, identifying what the need is between you and your connection, because it's never about what you need. It's really about what they need, and double clicking into that, and then figuring out how you can be of benefit to them ultimately. And then how maybe, as we all know in this environment in terms of work, I don't know about you, but as I look for a new role, I find that I'm having to back channel all the time to get into a conversation. And I would imagine that most of you all are doing the same, really leveraging LinkedIn, and then also, back channeling. And then, making sure when someone is helping you, acknowledging them publicly and letting them know how much you appreciate them. Oh, you're so sweet, Becca. So thank you. Oh, okay, your introversion and assumption. No, people do want to talk. Think about it. We just went through COVID. I mean, doesn't it seem like a long time ago? But it really was only 3 years ago that we were in COVID at the tail end. And people still want to talk, and they want to get out and meet. And so I wanted to kind of take a moment and pause and have you guys put in the chat just a couple of things. People you knew and things you did when you were in high school, right? So, people you knew and things you did, what your impact on others were at that time, and then how you think you were perceived. If you guys are interested, I would love to see you guys share um, a little bit about yourselves, because it's not just about me. I want to make sure you guys can see yourselves in the things that I'm sharing with you. Okay, Anna Teresa. Okay, we got to get some one-on-one time together. Reach out to me on LinkedIn. I will send you my Calendly girl so we can connect. That's awesome. Um, okay, so let's take the one thing that Okay, I appreciate that. Is it it's Kyla. Okay. Um, what do you think your impact is on other people when you meet them? Oh, I love that, Adrian. Um, so when people meet you, what kind of impact would you say that you have on people? I'm curious. I think for myself, I think people know that I'm friendly and genuine. I love that, Christine. Okay, so you were director of social planning. That's awesome. So think about those things and how they could relate to you today, right? Your impact on people. Okay. I love that, Shayla. That's right. I love that. Okay. Kayla, that's amazing. To be very caring and non-judgmental. That's an amazing, so emotionally intelligent, soft skill for you as a leader and being in sales, because you're actually, when you're knowing and you're listening, you're really trying to understand what they're trying to solve. And I love that. You were the planster. What's the planster, Liz? And Lynn, okay, she was not interested in network. Now you should reform non-networking. People now think I'm well networked and they leverage me. I absolutely. I met Lynn at the WIT network, and we had some time together. And she's an amazing person with JSG. I don't know if you guys know Janet Shin. She's an amazing leader that is in the technology channel. If you don't know Janet, you should. And if you don't know Lynn, you should. These women have been around and they know people, they're buying, and they do coaching as well. So definitely great people to know. Anna Teresa, I was trying to figure myself out and very much chameleon. Now I know that's allowed me to be adaptable. I love that. So Anna Teresa, I don't know if you I don't know if you're ever watched this movie by Woody Allen. It's called Zelig, and the character Zelig. And basically, Woody Allen's character, he would become a chameleon and mimic whomever he was around in order to, because he had anxiety about being with other people. And it's a really interesting study on how picking up nuances from other people help make them comfortable to talk to you. So Anna Teresa, you were ahead of the game in understanding that sometimes people need to be observed, and then how can I put it? You mirror their actions, and that allows them to open up to you. Just a bad geek, not trying to get beat up. Exactly, Lynn. That's awesome. Yes, people can and do change. And Liz, I love that you were the planster. You were director of social programming too. All right. So then now let's talk about all the women that are in the chat. How about you take some time now, if you wouldn't mind, in the chat, put your LinkedIn profiles in the chat. And then I would love for each woman to connect with each person, because this is how you grow your networking yearbook. I love that. Exactly. Okay. And while everyone is doing that, Eleni said, I can tend to come across as serious or unapproachable. I think it's because you have a resting bitch face. Oh my God, you're hilarious. But, but you know what? Whenever I see someone, see me and you, we would get together, Eleni, because whenever I see someone just kind of like neutral, I would go up and ask them and try to draw them out. That's just who I am. Oh, I love this. Thank you all so much for sharing this. I'm expecting to see each one of you with 30 new connections in your virtual yearbook signing. Um, oh, that's awesome, Lainey. That's fantastic. Um, I love that. So, but I understand sometimes people have to have this game face, right? Or keep their cards close to their chest. But believe it or not, everyone that you know really want to be known. right? Does that make sense to you? Because your network truly is your net worth. And there's nothing to be afraid about reaching out to people. We're all humans. We're all trying to make it in this world. We're all trying to do our best. We fail. I fail all the time. And I just try to be as decent as I can to people that I meet along the way, not knowing where anyone is in their journey, right? Um, I can use Liz Green as an example. Please connect with Liz. Liz is looking for her next opportunity. I met Liz about a year and a half ago. And Liz reached out to me. She saw me on this Women in Partnerships webinar. And I always reach out to people as soon as they contact me. I follow up immediately. And she said, hey, I want to get to know you. I'm looking for my next opportunity. And Liz, you can tell people in the chat, what did I do for you? And I still do it. And Liz and I had the opportunity of meeting, I believe, twice so far at an event. And I didn't know her. But because I could see myself in her shoes, looking for a new opportunity, going through things. Oh, you're so sweet. And we just have to, in this day and age, we really got to lean in to helping other women. I firmly believe that. And I literally can't wait to connect with all of you all and get some one-on-one time with you. All right. So, oh, thank you so much, Akila. You're so sweet. I appreciate you. And Liz, I can't wait to see you at the next event. And Akila is another one. So Akila, she had me. She's a co-president of another group called Alliance of Channel Women. And like I mentioned earlier, I belong to every group that's out there, just because if I can't afford to be a sponsor, what can I do to volunteer my time? How can I help? What can I give of myself so that people know that I want to be a part of the community? Luckily, Akila took me up on that and had me speak. And so I know some of this content might look a little familiar to her because we talked about the power of networking during that. And it's a game changer when you lead with authenticity and you mean what you say and you just aren't really looking for anything initially when you reach out to people. You just want to connect. That's what's helped me. So, my call to action for all of you women are look at how you could build trust with each other. This is the number one thing. Um, at the end or after this, Alexine is going to send out a couple of documents that I've created for you all. And one is a 30-day plan for you to grow your network very authentically. Those of you who are connected to me know on LinkedIn know that I am prolific on LinkedIn. And the reason being is if you don't talk up yourself, how are people going to know you? How are they going to know what you're great at if you are not letting people know? If you're not sharing with your network what's important to you, what drives your curiosity, events that you're going to, how you're helping someone else, how are people going to know? And I find that women are very timid about talking about the great things that they do in life. And when we talk about the great things we do in life, that's what builds our network. It builds it naturally, organically, authentically. I encourage you all to make a point to share with the world, the people that you're on LinkedIn with, your network, what drives you, what you're focused on right now. I guarantee you'll have people comment. And maybe that, like Anna Teresa, when you were talking earlier about not wanting to share those things, maybe you can just do it not from a personal perspective, but just what drives your curiosity right now. How are people overcoming, sales challenges right now? We're all dealing with um, the socio-political situations right now with tariffs, right? I can't tell you what all the conversations that I've had recently with people who are trying to do good work and providing services to people, and people are very nervous, right? About what should they spend, why should they spend it? They want to wait and see. Well, this you getting information out to your network to tell them how you're thinking about approaching this, guaranteed people will start to see you and trust you regarding the areas that you specialize in. So, can you guys put in the chat so that I know, what do each of you do? What drives interest? Are you in marketing? I know most of you are in sales, but what sales are you in? Okay. Okay. So, Shayla, what are you selling? What do you sell? Okay, so you sell ad tech. Okay, perfect. Paridi, you do partnership. So, but for technology, okay, cool. So Kayla, she does BD. She's a BDR for cybersecurity and IT solutions. Love it. Paridi, she's in channel. So put your solution in the chat, what you sell specifically, because again, this is going to help you build the network of the women that are on here that could possibly introduce you to other people that could buy your services, right? That's what this is all about. Okay, so Brandy wants to get into ed tech. Okay, Brandy, I got some people for you. Okay, so Aaliyah, she does university. Okay, so you're in fundraising. Okay, great. I know a company that both you and Brandy could kind of work with. Okay, Erin Marie, she does sales. Okay, love that, love that, love this. Okay, um, software as a service. I love it. I love this. Okay, so if you guys are okay with this, I would love to create a group for us. And Alexine, you can come in the chat and let us know um, if this is permissible or not, but a follow-on conversation for the women that are in this chat, that we could do business with each other and we can help each other or give referrals. I would love to love it. Thank you so much. I would love to see this happen, because we would be then our own test bed for the power of networking. Think about this. We were creating our own terrarium on how this would work. And I guaranteed within a couple of months, we'll have our own success story about either how one of us referred, I know, Christine, we, one of us have referred someone to a job or an opportunity or a contact that can actually use their services. This is what we need to do. So actually, Alexine, everything is on her to create like a special group in women in sales, and we will keep this conversation going. And so love that. See, I love this. This is what I'm talking about, people. Look, okay, who's looking for? Okay, so thank you for telling me what you do. Who's looking for a job? Okay, awesome, Aaron. We would love to have you. Okay, so Shayla's looking for a job. Okay, cool. Everybody's looking for a role. Perfect. Guess what? Now, if you can, and we're going to put this in the group that Alexine creates, what the ideal role is for you. I'm connected to over 10,000 executives. I want to know what company you want to work for, top 5, top 10, and I will help you back channel into that company so that you can get the role that you want. That's how we do this. This is how it works. Oh, yes, even see, look at that. Jen, I love it. I love it. This is, oh my gosh, I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Are you all in the Slack channel for women in sales? Because if you're not a member, you need to be. and you definitely, Alexine does these amazing group meetups. I love them. Oh, hey, Kathy, welcome back. Thank you for joining us again. Literally, this is everything the power of networking is all about. I want to take questions. Okay, I love that, Brandy. Okay, so Brandy, I'm going to go through this list when Alexine creates this group. Everyone is already in the Slack. We already know, we see all the jobs coming in, but it's a lot to kind of filter through every day that people are posting. But I would love to continue this conversation with the people in this group so that we can show Alexine and Shannon the power of networking on steroids. Oh, it's a bad Photoshop, Kayla, but I did it. And I love that, Heather. Absolutely. Yes. Thank you so much. Okay. So we've got about 13 minutes left, and I want to make sure I am making very good use of your time. Number one, what questions can that do people have that they feel comfortable sharing with the group? I love that. Okay, Kate, rocking and rolling. I got some people for you at all those companies, 100%. And I definitely can tell you Microsoft is on a huge hiring jag right now because of AI. And so if you want to in healthcare, I know the GM for healthcare, and I know the CTO for cybersecurity. We should definitely connect, Kate. Let's get some time together. Send me a personal link in LinkedIn, and I'll send you my Calendly, and we'll get some time. Yes. Okay. Same thing, Aaliyah. Definitely. There is a company. It's an ed tech company. I definitely have some connections into that. I know the COO, the CTO, the CFO. They have a ton of listings. I'll definitely help you with that. Questions from you guys. I love the interactive nature, and I love to see you all friending each other. This is a good thing. Okay. So, Alexine, I love that. So, why not just reach out to him and say, hey, listen, it's been some time. You're on my mind. I just wanted to check in and see how you're doing. I have been remiss because I've been so busy with work, children, and I just wanted you to know that I was thinking about you, and I hope all is well. Guaranteed someone is going to reach back out to you. Thank you for that question, Alexine, because it happens. People, we get busy. And I always find that when life gets in the way, when I'm just honest with the person and say, hey, I was thinking about you and I would love to catch up. Can we get 15 minutes together? Who's going to turn you down? Seriously. And then when you're talking to them, being earnest about why you reached out to them, that they, whatever you remember from the last conversation you had with them. Thank you, Alexine, for letting me know that was anonymous. The last conversation you had with them, let them know that that resonated with you. It says, how do you have a difficult conversation with someone in your network who did something that negatively impacted you? For example, someone introduced you to a company for a job op, ends up, oh, okay. Well, so you can be honest with that person and say, and say, how do you think that conversation went? How do you think that interview went? Most often, people know, when they've messed up. I mean, I know I do. Whenever like I feel like I foobarred a situation, and I think it makes sense for you to have an honest conversation with both of them, because the person that needs to have a difficult conversation, you can say, well, this person, when I worked with them back then, they were this, and this. I don't know what has happened since then, but I would love to catch up with you. I would love to get your perspective and understand that, this is not indicative and that maybe that person had a bad day. Like we all have a bad day. Or maybe that position wasn't for them after they were in the interview. I mean, I will yes, thank you, thank you. I will share with you guys, I was networked into a role that I really, 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 really wanted. And, invariably, as a woman, we have to come prepared. And I actually wrote a little newsletter about this. And then as a woman of color, I have to be over prepared, right? Just to prove my worth, even at this stage in the game. And the feedback I had gotten was I had done several interviews with their leadership team, and they were liking me. And then I interviewed with one person who I could tell was very threatened by my credentials. And this person made my 45-minute interview all about him for 33 minutes. And so when I did get a chance to speak, I only got 12 minutes. I had to be crisp and really try to force my way into the conversation. Well, so I always send over a thank you note and some little small mini slide deck to remind people of the conversation that we had. And I got feedback from the recruiter a couple days later that they weren't going to move me forward in my candidacy. And I was butt hurt. Like, why? I know that this is my role. This is my job. I know it. I was back channeled into this role. And the feedback that came back from the recruiter, and he was reluctant to share it, he said, "You sounded rehearsed." He said, "You sounded over prepared." They felt like it wasn't like they didn't get to know you. Now, this was based on the last person who I interviewed with who spoke for 33 minutes of the 45 minutes. I cried like a baby because I felt like I never got a chance to really shine. So I did thank the people that introduced me and spoke me up because I think like 10 people spoke me up to this individual. And I will see this individual who's the hiring manager that decided not to move forward with me. I will see him in the industry and I will have a conversation with him. But I just think it just makes sense to be open and honest with both parties, um, and find out if something was going on. I hope that answers your question, Anonymous. I hope that real life example um, resonates with you. But yeah, I've been there. Any other questions? Okay, well, okay, wonderful, Alexine. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you all. Um, Exactly, Anna Teresa, exactly. Someone else told me that, one of my mentors that I had reached out to and had given them a summary, and I take copious notes. And it would have that situation, Anna Teresa, that person that I had interviewed with that was threatened by me would have made my life hell, right? Because I would have been coming in as a peer to that individual and we would have had to work together. Yes, exactly. 100%. So I look at, doors don't open all the time for good reasons, and the right ones do open. So that said, yes, exactly. You want to hear the feedback because not knowing is definitely the worst. Exactly, especially when in technology we're all connected. We're all, super We hear things, right? But I just really prefer to be on the side of um, what's good. And to me, what's good is having a very private, sensitive, but direct conversation with both parties about what had happened, because you don't want to, have any repercussions happen um, to your word, your good word that's out there in the industry. Okay, we've got 4 minutes left. Any other questions, or else I can give people back their time. I hope you guys enjoyed this just as much as I did. I am so excited to network with you all. Like, I mean that. And anything that I can do to help you land a job, network into companies, meet other women, um, sponsor you into, other things. I can't tell you enough about how much I'm so grateful to be a part of Women in Sales. And I'm so grateful to Alexine for hosting me. And speaking of Alexine, would you like to, take over at this point and see us out? Oh, thank you, Adrienne and Shayla, Brandy, Becca, Lynn, Taya, Aaron, you guys are welcome. Oh, and then, I will make sure that you guys have this slide. I will make sure that you guys have this in PowerPoint. The slide that has the journey, you should create one for yourself. This one, I will make sure that you guys have the exact same slide and you guys can create your own. And I look forward to seeing your own journey. Maybe you can all share that in the new Slack channel. So, with that, Christine, Liz, Jen, Alexine, thank you all so much. I really appreciate you all for making some time today. Thank you, Heather. I really appreciate you guys giving me an hour today. And I'm so excited to know each of you even more. Thank you, Kate. So glad you could join us today.